Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trisha and I'm at Box Homeschool. I am participating in a collaboration today with Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from The Waldock Way. And today we're going to be talking about those homeschool sick days. How do you handle sick days in your homeschool? I know it can be a hot mess. I thought today I would share some resources that I have found very useful on those sick days or sick-like days where you're just struggling for whatever physical, emotional, spiritual reason. There's just life, right? So many things that can derail us. There are so many things that can affect our homeschool and cause us to need to pivot. So be sure to check out the playlist down below in the description. There are always some really helpful videos that I enjoy seeing from their homeschool show and tell playlist on additional tips and things that I had not thought of. So I encourage you to check that out after. Resources that have come in handy during those sick days. I'm just going to say sick days, but you know what that means, that it's all encompassing of things that cause our homeschool to need to pause, change course, slow down, all of the above. So one of the things I try to incorporate every school year are at least one or two independent subjects, things that they don't need me for or very, very lightly need me for. In the younger years, typically it's spelling, cursive, and a little bit later in the year grammar. Most spelling and cursive curriculum is open and go and not much handholding needed, and that has been really helpful. That way, when it is a sick day, those subjects can self-run and continue on. Another thing that has really helped is just having a collection of great read-alouds. So I usually try to plan read-alouds ahead of time, at least maybe 4 or 5 books out. I can't plan for the whole year yet. I'm not at that level yet. Just a few books out, and that has been helpful too, because then we can continue on as long as whoever maybe has a sore throat or something isn't the one reading. We're able to continue on with our read-aloud. If it's not me, it's one of 3 of the kids. It could be, you know, in your pajamas in bed, or it could be the only thing that you do that day. Just the benefits of the read aloud. There's so many small things that are gleaned from those times. There are some days, especially in the early years, where that was the only thing that was done. Now, for a curriculum that has been really useful to us on sick days is Apologia Math. I don't know if you know Apologia has math curriculum now, but they have a whole line from level 1 through level 6. That's not necessarily grade level, but they do have a placement test online you can take and see what level is a right fit for your child. But we've been using Apologia Math for about 2 years now as a supplement, and my kids have really taken to it. They love the simplicity of it. There are many hands-on activities that don't take a lot of work. It's very common household things, very common, like actually really common, where some curriculums say, who has that at their house? But anyways, very normal supplies that your child can find around the house and do those hands-on activities alone. And it's not a lot of drill work. It's pretty light. So that's why we use it as a supplement. It's fun. It's independent. I don't need to help. So on days when, not a sick day, but a busy day, I will assign Apologia Math, and that gets done. And they're reviewing math concepts. They're doing hands-on activities, and I didn't have to oversee it. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share are these studies from CM Simple Studies, and I'm going to link them below. They have so many studies. It's a Charlotte Mason approach, which is the CM for CM Studies. Crystal is the woman who runs this company, and it's very accurate. Simple Studies is the name, and it is very simple. So when my daughter was working on a show, we had to bring schoolwork to the set where they filmed the show, and that was a period of 5 months, and that really affected our lives a lot. Not a sick day, but that kind of mentality of just having to switch things up. And in that season, we had to find things that were lightweight, easy to carry, engaging and enjoyable, something that she can do on her own, but also something I felt was meaty enough that was enriching her education. So CM Simple Studies, they have a wide range of studies. We have done many of the nature studies actually. So she has studies for meadow creatures, forest creatures. We've done one on the United States. My daughter really liked the fairy tale study, but she does have a wide range of studies. You can pick something your child is interested in, and there's usually a spine book that goes with it, just one, with additional suggested picture books if you want to add to the study. When I know it's going to be a crazy season, or if we're going to have to school on set for some reason, I always think of checking the Simple Studies website. Another resource I wanted to highlight was a company that reached out to me to offer a box of fresh meals. And who doesn't love fresh meals, right? They sent me a box of meals to sample delivered right to my door, and all I had to do was unbox it and put it in the refrigerator. They are all freshly made. There are no freezing of the meals in any of the process. The ingredients were so good. You're able to pick your meals, and they even have categories that you can select from. They have a protein plus option, which is 30 grams or more of protein. They have a calorie category, which is 550 calories or less. They have a keto friendly option, which is 50 15 grams of net carbs or less, a chef's choice option, which are all whole food ingredients. There's a vegan and veggie option, which is meat-free. I love those. There's also an option for extra protein if you want that. They also offer breakfast, snacks, desserts, shakes, and smoothies. And we also tried their cold pressed juices, which we used to do as like a juice cleanse back in the day. So it was a funny reminder of that. But those are really good, surprisingly. Back in the day, I had a hard time with those, but these were very easy. And the convenience of the meals, a big reason I said yes to receiving the box. One, I mean, who doesn't want to receive a box of food? But a couple other reasons I wanted to collaborate with Factor Meals was they were offering me a link and a code to share that would give you 50% off. And I thought that was such a good deal. I went on their website and kind of priced it out. That 50% off your first box, I thought could be really helpful to some of you. We received our box in the middle of a big move. And I know some of you have situations that come up that are sick-like days that box of fresh meals delivered on your doorstep could be just an answered prayer. So I wanted to make sure to talk about that, share that with you. So if that can be a blessing to you, or if you foresee a season coming up where that could come in handy, I welcome you to use the link and code below to get your 50% off your first box, as well as 20% off any future box after that. You can pick your delivery date. So if you know that first week of December is going to be insane, maybe give yourself that gift ahead of time. So those are the top resources that come to mind when I know it's going to be a rough week, a rough season. I have also been reading this book from Jamie Erickson, and I have this linked in my Christian bookstore favorites. She has a chapter in this book, chapter 8, all about this topic, just figuring out how to navigate a tough season. And I just wanted to share a small portion of this if this helps you at all. This section is called Delight Instead of Defeat. It says, if you're in a similar season of struggle or chaos, don't be ashamed to undertake the bare minimum. Ask yourself, if my kids only finish one subject today, what do I hope it will be? Maybe at this point, the thought of completing even one whole lesson seems unrealistic. Pick a few specific skills within that subject to practice instead. In other words, if introducing long division today is not possible, just review regular division problems for a bit. Then have your child rehearse his subtraction facts on his long division. So you'll at least be greasing the wheel for the day when life returns to normal and you can do a complete math lesson again. Reviewing previously learned material is never a waste of time, even if that's all that gets done in the day. And then she goes on to say, this is not a call to just buck up and get over it. My point is not to give you another formula to lay over your days or to dismiss the very real pain of them, but only to encourage you to relinquish your tight hold of homeschooling in the midst of your difficulty. In doing so, you'll be able to see delight instead of defeat. Might I encourage you to welcome a new approach to teaching, one that requires less from you. During this struggle-filled season, consider trying a more interest-led education through strewing or project-based learning. These methods are not just helpful during moments of crisis, but on normal homeschool days too, if those even exist. And then she goes on to give an entire list of things you can encourage your child towards in that busy season. Write to a pen pal, create a comic strip, create a floor plan for an indoor fort, and then build it. This is such an encouraging one. I will link this one below as well. I'm not sure if you could hear it right now, but my kids are singing worship songs. There's a lot going on. I'm excited to share a term one update and just what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how things are going, if we've changed anything. I will get to that soon. Be sure to check out the playlist down below for the other homeschool show and tell videos that are going to give you some strategies and ideas for how to manage and navigate these harder, sick homeschool days. I'm sure you'll be encouraged. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you in the next video.